Hi, my name is Crixwell, and I want to talk about Norwegian sentence structure and English sentence structure and how the topic slot works. Because uh, this is something that I think a lot of textbooks get wrong and don't realize is a thing that exists in the first place. And because of it, many people learning Norwegian are very confused uh, by by particularly what happens to the subject and the verb at times. But to understand what's going on in Norwegian, you need to understand what a topic is and how it works in English. Uh, or well, you don't need to understand it in English, but I think for English speaking uh, viewers, it will be easier if I explain it in English first. Because the thing is, English also does have this feature. It's just a little less ever present than it is in Norwegian. So in this image, you can see we have uh, the basic structure of an English sentence. We have a subject, a verb, and an object. The cat ate the mouse today. We're adding the adverbial at the bottom because we'll have some fun with that later. But the thing is, actually, let's have fun with that right now. Because the thing is, if this is the structure, then why can we move this to the beginning of the sentence? Well, you might think, oh, that's just because the adverbs are free to go just about wherever, but that's not strictly true. The cat today ate the mouse is not a correct sentence. And, and yeah, it's looser than most categories, but it it's structured. There are rules for where the adverbial can go. And more damningly, the mouse the cat ate today. If you have a comma, specifically if you have a comma, uh, then the mouse the cat ate today. The mouse the cat ate today is a valid sentence. It still means the cat ate the mouse, even though English is a subject-verb-object adverbial language. So what's going on? That would be the topic. What's actually happening is that the object has moved into the topic slot. And in a different... if I was able to, I would put the object into the topic slot, because that's the thing. The topic slot doesn't take a word, it takes a whole other slot. Like the whole subject slot can go into the topic slot. And that's what's happening here. The topic slot is at the beginning of the sentence, and it tells you what is the most important thing, what is the most important known element of the sentence. What do you know about the sentence already that is important? What is the sentence about? In this case, the mouse the cat ate today means that you're already talking about the mouse, or you're changing the subject to the mouse. Then you're elaborating that, oh, about the mouse, the cat ate it. That is what a topic is in English and Norwegian. The thing is, in English, you don't have to use this much. Or rather, it's not always as visible that you're using it when you do it. Because the structure of an English sentence is subject-verb-object. And usually the subject is the topic. In other words, this happens and you don't even notice. But when you're asking a question, then the verb goes into the topic slot. Now, English has the auxiliary verb do, so it wouldn't actually be phrased ate the cat the mouse today anymore. It used to be like that. But if you look at what happens with do, then it works the same way. Like, what did the cat supposedly do? Oh, eat the mouse. Did the cat eat the mouse today? Anyway, in Norwegian it works like that too. If the verb goes into the topic slot and you don't use an auxiliary verb, so it is just spiste katten musa I dag, or ate the cat the mouse today. And that's a very common use of the topic slot. Now, the thing is, in Norwegian structure, this is not actually what it looks like. All the textbooks will say that Norwegian is a subject-verb-object language. It's not. It's a topic, verb, subject, object language. What that means is that ate the cat the mouse today is the default order in Norwegian. Spiste katten musa I dag. But when it's not a question, we have to use the topic for something other than the verb, which means that the subject is usually promoted to the topic. So it does end up looking like subject, verb, object, but that's because the subject is in the topic slot. So that means also that if we don't want the subject to be the topic, then we just don't do that. We put something else there. Now here's the rub. People often get confused about what happens when we put something other than the subject or the object into the topic slot. If you put an adverbial such as today or I dag da, today to the school, whatever the case may be, is basically anything that's not a subject, verb, or object. When you put that into the topic slot, it works exactly the same way. In English, it doesn't. In English, the subject would come here. So in English, it just looks like you put the thing before the subject and nothing else changes. But in Norwegian, the subject can no longer be the topic. And so it ends up back after the verb. And that confuses people. Because then it suddenly looks like the verb and the subject are switching places for no reason whenever there's something before them. And that's just not how it works. What happens is that they didn't switch places. They didn't switch places because something else took that place. And that's also what happens with the object. Like, if you look at the sentence now, Musa spiste katten I dag. There is a difference. You can hear there's a very slight difference in the stress pattern of the sentence. But usually, if it's written, you will need to rely on context. It's very unlikely that the mouse ate the cat, for example. Yeah, it's actually a lot simpler than it seems to figure out. Should the verb and the subject be verb subject or subject verb? If there's something before the two of them. Something that's been promoted to the topic of the sentence, the most important known information, like something you already have on the table. Then that means the subject can't be first in the sentence. And really, it's as simple as that. Now, there might be words before the subject and the verb that aren't actually the topic. That's usually conjunctions and interjections that don't really add to the logical meaning of the sentence directly. But if the object or the adverbial goes before the verb, the subject comes after the verb. It's really as simple as that. But the way it's being taught makes it very confusing. I hope this cleared things up a bit, and I'll see you later.